looked bad tonight. Shots off the side of the backboard, missed layups, missing wide open threes, turning the ball over. All in the fourth quarter. All in the fourth quarter. Denver ain't no joke. I give them a lot of credit, but this was a straight choke job by the Clippers in the fourth quarter. When you wet the bed like that in the last 12 minutes of a game 7, that's a choke. That's a choke job. You see me choking now?
Oh, paging Max Kellerman. Stephen A's already got his snack. He's going to be sipping his tea. Let me remind everyone, 3-1 lead in this series. So, yes, I would define that as a choke, as Stephen A said. And, Max, you describe Kawhi as not just the best. He's a cyborg, and he has ice water in his veins. What the heck happened to your boy?
The Denver Nuggets happened to my boy, and I was wrong. Kawhi cannot play like that in the 7th game of a series, period, in any series, and be considered the best player in the world. The only possible saving grace for the Clippers and Kawhi is if the Nuggets do the same thing to the Lakers. But, as I've done in the last 2 series, I'm picking against these Nuggets in that one. Look, Kawhi, as I said before the game, I'm not going to change now. I'm right here. Kawhi, as I said before the game, I hold to the same standard as LeBron or James Harden or anyone else who is a superstar and one of the best players in the world and the franchise centerpiece. It's a game 7. If you've gotten this far, the teams are even. The team with the best player on the floor will win the game, almost always. The best player on the floor was Jokic. Kawhi was also not the second best player on the floor. The second best player on the floor was Jamal Murray. You can't be, and he may not have been the third best player on the floor either, but you can't have 2 dudes on the other team both outplay you. The Clippers at one point didn't score in the fourth quarter until like 5 minutes to go was the first field goal at least they made in the fourth quarter. This has happened to me once before with respect to LeBron James. When in 2016, in the midst of a 73-win season, Steph Curry looked unstoppable, going back 4 years already. And I said, I know a guy like Steph is never the best player in the world, his size and everything. LeBron's so much more athletic. But given the rules today, Steph has surpassed LeBron. Game 7 to win at Oracle. And in the last almost 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, half-court offense ever didn't score a point, led by Steph Curry, who turned the ball over. And I had to come out and say, oops, sorry, LeBron, you're still the king after all. Look, this morning I have to say, at this moment, whoops, 4 years after that fact, sorry, LeBron, you're still the best player in the world after all. Kawhi blew it.
Are you finished? I just want to make sure because I want to give you all the time you need. Now, I want to give you all the time you need. Are you finished? Because once I get in, I don't want to be interrupted. I want to give you the floor because I don't want to be interrupted.
About when I get in. Are you sure? Sock puppets? I'm finished for now. Depends on what you say.
Okay. First of all, your little soliloquy right there shows why when it comes to the sport of basketball, you should be banned from talking about the sport. Your take was embarrassing. This noise that you have made all of these years about Kawhi Leonard, you come on national television. I give you the top of the show. I step back. I got my team do this right here, Max. Got my team right here. Listen, man. Look, man, I stepped back, Max. I gave you the floor. And your response to the American public after the drivel you have subjected us all to for the last several years was, whoops, I blew it. That's the best you can do. I got it. I'll take it from here, Max. You know what? Hold on, Max. I'll take it from there. You remember Water Wolf? Because you and I grew up in New York City. Remember the great Water Wolf when he was doing his highlights, every evening on CBS? Remember Water Wolf, Max Kellerman? Let's go to the videotape. Remember that? I got videotape for you. I got videotape for you, Max Kellerman. Brian Borg, our producer extraordinaire. Give me highlight number 1, please. Take it away. Play it.
He's in the conversation for greatest defensive player who ever lived. You don't even really think about his offense except
shooting 60% from the field in the playoffs. A former Finals MVP before he entered his prime is shooting 60 in the playoffs. Best offensive player, including KD, who's also in his prime, but Kawhi is not playing with Steph and Clay. So under pressure, yes, Kawhi is better than Kobe was.
What that video didn't show was the fact that Jay Williams and I got up off the set and walked out because of the dribble, the blasphemous that you just spewed. But Max, wait a minute before I get into Kawhi and
No,
you.
before
I
you
got
go on,
more.
hold on,
Play
hold
the
on.
next. Hold on.
Wait. You can get to more.
You speak.
You can get to more. Hold on. We're taking this one at a time, brother.
I got another tape.
You can
play
more tape, but
play
one
the
thing
other
at a
tape
time.
right now. We don't want to hear from Max.
LeBron is what we're talking about. We're not talking about lifetime achievement. Right now, I think Kawhi is the baddest man on the planet. He is the reigning and defending Finals MVP, and I believe he's going to do it again.
That was Max Kellerman, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me get to last night's game. Kawhi Leonard. That might be the biggest choke job we've ever seen in NBA history. I mean, it was that bad. It was that bad. We're talking about a two-time MVP. We're talking about a two-time champion who Max Kellerman has bloviated about being the best in the world. And what happens? You're up 3-1 in the second round, not the conference finals, in the second round against Denver, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, not LeBron James. And in the second round, up 3-1, you blow a 3-1 lead. What do? You shoot 6 of 22 from the field. You shoot 1 for 11 in the second half. You didn't even get to the free throw line. Just an absolute positive choke job, period. Oh, it's just that simple. And I got to say this. This hurts me. This hurts me because I love this brother. I think he's one of the best people you could ever meet in the NBA, and I do think he's a star. But taken off the hook either. I mean, his performance was abysmal. It was just as bad as Kawhi Leonard. When you're in a corner, wide open behind the three-point line, and you hit the side of the backboard, and you can't buy a basket. I can't let him off the hook. I can't let Lou Williams, Lemon Pepper Lou, off the hook either. Your job is to score. That's your job, to find a way to stop the bleeding. Lou Williams didn't do that. My brother, Doc Rivers, we know how much I love this man. We know what a great coach I think he is. You've been there 7 years. You still can't get them to the NBA Finals. Doc Rivers is in trouble. I hope that he does not lose his job. He's in a world of trouble right now. And if he keeps his job, he's on the hot seat. Sam Cassell looking to be a head coach. Damn it. This might have blown that opportunity for the immediate moment. Ty Lue, we know what a champion he is. Unfortunately, everybody's looking at that coaching staff. Why? Because load management, lack of team chemistry, team not being together, acting like prima donnas, back to bite them in the you-know-what. But for the purposes of this show, that man sitting right in front of me, right there, the split screen, right there, Max Kellerman. I mean, talk about somebody that should shell up, if not flat out. I don't want to hear whoops. No, I mean, you owe America a public apology. You owe the basketball gods a public apology. Kawhi Leonard, he wasn't even the third option when he was in San Antonio and he won the league MVP. And then last year, there was no Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson went down. He shouldn't have won last year. This was the first time in his career he was the #1 dude. All the pressure was on him, and he flat out choked. There is no